I would have been able to put up with, because I know how this is going to go. I love Nathan Fielder. I've been watching the rehearsal. Let's do some Nathan Fielder method, aka role playing, if you're not familiar with the Fielder method. I know how this is going to go. This comes out on Tuesday, today, if you're listening, obviously. They're going to come into the studio. Well, now when I was there, they recorded 3 days a week. I still think it's 3 days a week, but say Wednesday or Thursday. Who gives a shit? And I know how it's going to go. Rory and Damaris will be there because, you know, the usual recording time's the call time used to be noon. That used to be, whatever, not happening. Now it's around 1 o'clock. So they'll be there at, 12:31, like normal people on time. And then they'll hang around for about an hour and a half, 2 hours waiting. God, I don't miss that. I do not miss just waiting. And then just sitting in anger and just sitting in burning time. And we all used to bond over that. Just like, oh, traffic must be crazy today, because that was always the excuse. And then at some point, in walks Mal. Here comes the elevator doors swing open. Mal walks in 2 hours later as if nothing happened. No, my bad. No, nothing. No word. No exchange of words. Nothing. Just gets right into the chair. Yo, what are we talking about today? Mind you, why we would used to get there at noon or 1 was because we used to have these things called production meetings. Imagine that. Imagine prepping and planning ahead of a recording. Those recordings, those production meetings would, to basically myself and Damaris would go through topics, Rory would contribute, and then we kind of banter on like certain things and then kind of figure out the shell of the episode, which would probably be great if Mal, also the second name of the billing, the second lead, the 50-50 partner of the show, was there for those conversations, but he never was. So, when he walks in, and he comes in, an hour, 2 hours late, and he goes, what are we talking about? It would be nice if you made the production meetings, because then we wouldn't have to go through the process of explaining what we had just talked about and what we plan on talking about if you were just on time. I'm just going to throw that out there. And that's just like general advice. Like if you have like meetings just for anybody, just for people in general, if you commit to something, it'd probably be smart and, respectful for everyone's time if you show up on time, especially when you have guests. It's really weird when you have guests and you're like, the guests are hanging out waiting before the person whose show it is shows up. So just, a rule of advice.
Whew. What's good, people? It's your boy, The Kitchen. Now, what you just heard there was a clip of Julian responding to Rory and Mal. But in this instance, it seems like all his energy was focused on Mal and what he does behind the scenes when it comes to his dedication to the podcast and his overall effort when it comes to making things happen on that show. Now, I can't lie, it seems like these are sentiments that have been said way too many times before. One specifically that I remember is Joe. Yes, his arch nemesis, Joe Button. During the time of the breakup, he would go on to make allegations on top of allegations on top of allegations, but one of the allegations that I remember is Joe mentioning how lazy Mal is, how he doesn't have any work ethic, how he never really had to get shit out of the mud, how he never really had to grind in his life, seeing that obviously his brother is Rockefeller. So Joe kind of painted Mal out to be this little brother that had all the privileges in the world because his older brother had influence. But when Joe said that, I didn't really focus. I didn't really care about what he said because at the time I was kind of angry. This was off the heels of the breakup, so I just hated Joe. I didn't like anything. I hated the look of him. I didn't want any parts of it. But now, in hindsight, Joe had a point, because not only has Joe mentioned Mal's lack of work ethic, Rory has also said this, Damaris has also said this. Mal turns up late for production. Mal turns up late for pre-production. I mean, it has gotten so bad that the fans have noticed this as well. And I remember at a time where Rory and Mal were seen as these victims that were controlled, that were robbed by Joe, the industry guy. But now that time has gone on and Rory and Mal have gotten themselves into their own little business disputes with various members of the new Rory and Mal podcast. Remember, Carl was let go a while back, then Eden was let go, then Yomi left for some unknown reason. So there's been a good amount of workers that have left the new Rory and Mal podcast. And now that Julian has left, for the first time ever, it kind of feels like these guys are now the villains. A lot of the fans see them as the villains. A lot of the fans have said that Rory and Mal have in fact turned into the villain that they hate the most. Joe Budden. Yes. Just by the way that they handle business, a lot of the fans would say that there is in fact a lot of things that they have in common with each other when it comes to business. But what do you guys think about this? Do you guys feel like Julian was wrong for exposing Mal in the behind the scenes workings that goes on at that show? Or was Julian pushed to the limit and was forced to show his hand and just show how low he can go? Because I honestly think that these guys treat Julian like he's a pushover, like he won't do anything, like he won't respond to the shots upon shots upon shots that they've taken upon him. But like I said, let me know how you guys feel in the comments. And until next time, it's your boy The Kitchen. Deuces.
I never asked for a penny from the show money, ever. I just wanted to contribute because I loved what I did, and it brought me a lot of joy. I was operating like a kid. I think I let I'm the youngest brother. I think I let and I've talked this through deeply in therapy. I have this, I'm very anti-conflict by nature, which is what makes doing shit like this hard. But I know what's right. And I know if I'm involved in it, I want it to be done well, and I want it to be done the best that it can. So I will throw myself into something, not expecting a return, but for the sake, basically what I'm saying is I'll let people take advantage of me and not see it as that. And also, be spun in a way that it's not taking advantage. It's like, we appreciate you. You work so hard. My parents come to the show in New York. Julian is the hardest worker here. There's no one that works as hard as him. Is fucking, all that. You do all that on camera, on video with my fucking parents. My mom and dad, who I have, who everyone knows that listens to the show knows how highly I speak of my family and how little I let people meet them. I don't want people that are bad or don't belong to that extent in my life to meet my parents. I guard my parents because they deserve it, and I want them to meet people that I love and respect. And that at that moment, that meant a lot to me. And then I see these photos pop up on my phone as recommended old photos, and it brings me a lot of fucking anger to they're touching and laughing and kikiing with my mom and my dad as if shit is sweet, and it never was.